Well, it's my hope that your Friday is coming up well. Time for news now. We have lots lined up for you in the world of news. And of course, we kickstart with a sad affair. But before then, welcome aboard. My name is Linda Alela. The highlights. Top on news. Court lifts orders suspending new social health insurance fund. Also, Nairobi man sentenced for 3 years for impersonating a police officer. And cases of banditry attacks continue to surge in Sipili and Olmuran areas in Laikipia County.
Lately, we have experienced some instances of stock theft, and our officers, hardworking officers, have managed to recover some of these goats, sheep, and cows that have been stolen.
Welcome back, and this is basically the sad story that I'm talking about, the details of the autopsy report for Rita Mendo, the woman who was tragically, murdered in a short-stay rental in Nairobi, Roysambu. That is, of course, in Nairobi, yes, area, suggests a calculated and deliberate act by the predator. And of course, the government pathologist, Joanson Oduor, who conducted the post-mortem report at Nairobi Funeral Home, revealed that the victim's fingernails were intentionally chipped off, indicating an effort by the killer to conceal potential evidence. And samples from the deceased have been collected for additional toxicology examinations at the government's chemist. As, of course, the investigation unfolds, detectives are still pursuing the still at large suspect, aiming to unravel the motive behind the heinous crime.
The person who did all this also tried to clip up the fingernails for reasons which I might not be able to know. And to us as scientists, when you see fingernails clipped away, we think probably it's a person who tried to hide evidence, so that now we are unable to get his DNA from this victim. So we've taken samples which are going to be taken to the analyst for further analysis, so that we can help the police to further try to apprehend the persons who did this. Yeah, it looked like he knew what to do, because when you look at the skin looked like it was cut with a sharp object. But when you look at the bone, it was sawed off with what looked like a hacksaw. So this is a person who knew what he was doing here. This is the first time I've come across such an incident. I've never, in my forensic life, I've never come across such incidents around.
And, well, President William Ruto has joined other heads of state and governments for the 19th Non-Aligned Movement, that is NAM Summit, that is underway in Uganda. And during the opening session that was held in Kampala, Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was unanimously elected as the chairperson of NAM. Uganda, which succeeds Azerbaijan, will serve for 3 years at the forum. And of course, that was established in 1961. South Sudan is expected to be admitted into the 120 member countries group today.
Africa has got everything. Here we have everything. What we need from other people are markets and investments. But we shall not only sell to you, we shall also buy from you. We are not like others who want only to sell to others but not buy from them. So I'm very glad to have this big presence of people from the world, so that we can interact with you. Our stand is that the world should concentrate on the common human problems: prosperity through trade, the advance of science and technology to deal with human problems, the environment, crime, and terrorism.
The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, launched by the African Union, represents a global market of more than 1.3 billion people to boost intra-African trade, but also with the world to deepen cooperation for shared affluence. Despite this progress made, many African countries are still facing different forms and magnifications of terrorism, as well as transnational organized crime that risk to undo the important developmental gains on the continent.
Well, we are here to give you more updates on this developing story. Now, the Council of Governors has criticized the Treasury for delayed disbursement of the county, that is equitable share amounting to about 81 billion Kenyan shillings. And as the chairperson of the Council of Governors, Anne Waiguru, has expressed frustration, noting that the National Treasury has 3 months behind schedule and, of course, adversely affecting the ability to respond promptly to emergencies and meet employee obligations. In addition, the Council of Governors has rejected the Commission on Revenue Allocation, that is CRA, proposal of about 398.14 billion Kenya shillings for the upcoming financial year 2024-2025. Instead, they are advocating for a higher of about 450 billion Kenya shillings.
We note with concern the delayed disbursement of equitable share of revenue, considering that we are 3 months on average in arrears. As of 19th of January 2024, which is today, the National Treasury has yet to disburse a total of 81.08 billion shillings to counties as per the disbursement schedule approved by the Senate. The projected shareable revenue for the financial year 2024-2025 amounts to Kenya shillings 2.958.6 billion, out of which the Council rejects the CRA proposal of 398.14 billion. Instead, the Council proposes, at a minimum, that the county equitable share to be Kenya shillings 450 billion for the financial year 2024-2025. Having gone through the full report, its recommendations, and the negative impact it poses on to devolution, we as a council reject in total the recommendations by the Working Party on education as they undermine the basic structure and framework of the management of education by the counties. Further, we call upon the Kenya National Union of Teachers to support the spirit and letter of the Constitution and refrain from derailing efforts made by county governments in the education sector.
In the corridors of justice, the Court of Appeal has overturned orders that were meant for the implementation for the Social Health Insurance Fund 2023. And the decision follows an appeal that is by CS Susan Nakumicha, challenging a prior ruling by the High Court, arguing that the move had created a void in health service delivery, affecting about 17 million Kenyans who rely on NHIF. The appellate judges Patrick Kiage, Pauline Nyamoya, and Ngenye Masharia have specified the 3 provisions of the Social Health Insurance Act will then remain suspended during the appeal process. These provisions are Section 26(5), Section 27(4), and Section 47(3), which mandate the unique identification of every Kenyan for the purpose of receiving health services. And a tragic road accident in the Githioro area on the Nyahururu-Nakuru Road has claimed about lives, 3 of them. And of course, 3 people losing their lives. Subukia Deputy County Commissioner says that the accident occurred after the driver of a matatu and a lorry were involved in a head-on collision. A woman and her child died on the spot, while the conductor of the matatu, who sustained injuries in the accident, later succumbed to those injuries at the Nakuru Level 5 hospital. Cases of banditry attacks continue to surge in Laikipia County. In the past 2 months, heightened unrest has been noted and observed in areas such as Sipili, Olmoran and the ranchless bordering Laikipia and Samburu counties due to persistent banditry attacks and stock theft. Well, speaking during a security meeting that was held in Laikipia County, Commissioner Joseph Kanyeri emphasized the importance of parents ensuring that their children, particularly boys, remain in school to prevent their involvement in acts of banditry within the region. Furthermore, efforts have been successful in recovering over 100 cattle that were stolen from Mugie Ranch, with ongoing initiatives to ensure that they return livestock to various ranches. We
are here at Rumuruti today to review development and security issues in Laikipia with my county security team. Lately, we have experienced some instances of stock theft, and our officers, hardworking officers, have managed to recover some of these goats, sheep, and cows that have been stolen. In an incident yesterday where 200 goats were stolen in Ngarua, Sipiri areas, our officers, including National Police Service, managed to recover 144 goats and 9 cattle. We are following up on the numbers that are missing. The government is very keen also to recover animals stolen from ranches in Laikipia. And so far we've recovered around 100 from the stock that was stolen in Mogi. Our word of caution to parents and to the elders in the communities is that they should work with government to end stock theft incidences. And most importantly for parents, they must send their children to school so that tomorrow we don't have young men, young boys who go to raiding.
Now, Cooperative Cabinet Secretary, that is Simon Chelgui, has called or urged coffee farmers, that is across the country, to enhance their coffee cultivation efforts, especially now that coffee prices are surging due to coffee sector reforms. And addressing coffee farmers at Kinoro Stadium in Meru County, Chelgui highlighted the positive impact of the reforms that were introduced by President William Ruto and his deputy, leading to increased profitability in the coffee sector. During the gathering, Chelugui emphasized the government's commitment, that is to support the coffee industry by actively combating cartels. He pointed out that licenses in the coffee sector have been revoked to deter those engaged in illegal activities.
Wakulima wa kahawa wameumia sana kwa sababu ya sheria mbaya, kwa sababu ya sheria iliyoundwa kukandamiza na kuumiza wakulima. Ni kweli sio kweli wakulima? Sheria ambayo tumeiona ikiendelea ilikuwa ni sheria ya kukandamiza mkulima na kutajirisha wengine wanabiashara. Wale mnaita cartels. Sasa tumesema katika in the bill that we have in parliament now, the cooperative bill and the coffee bill are now before the houses.
Ni kweli tunashukuru rais wetu Ruto kufikiria kufanya subsidize fertilizer. Lakini kama fertilizer haitafikia mkulima wakati inahitajika, hiyo fertilizer ni ya kazi gani? Haina kazi. Ati inakuja saa ingine nilipigia hata mkubwa wa NCPB Pamela, ananiambia inakuja na meli. Ikifika hapa haujui kama uende kwa KNTC ama uende kwa cereals, mambo ni mengi.
But kama hakuna fertilizer subsidized, hiyo kilo mbili unataka kutoa kilo mbili tupeleke kilo 20 au kilo 10 the next 2 years, itawezekana.
And a man found guilty of impersonating a police officer has been handed a 3-year jail sentence. Senior Principal Magistrate Susan Shitubi underscored the gravity of the offense, stating that pretending to be a police officer for the purpose of apprehending or kidnapping someone is a severe crime. During the trial, the prosecution disclosed that Augustine Museme Juma is, of course, falsely presented himself as a police officer and unlawfully detained Laban Solomon Wachia. Juma directed Wachia to board a motorcycle supposedly headed for Kangemi police station, claiming he was taking him there. However, the motorcycle was intercepted by two police inspectors, Ibrahim Aidan and Philip Suntu in Ngara within Nairobi County.
For a person to pose as a police officer, proceed to arrest another person, or arrest or even kidnap, because nobody knows what could have happened to this person. He'll serve 3 years in jail on each count, and the sentences will be concurrent. The right of appeal is 14 days.
And just a week after the police confiscated cannabis valued at 4 million Kenyan shillings in Nanyuki town, security forces in Nyahururu sub-county have seized a larger quantity with an estimated street value of 30 million Kenyan shillings. The discovery was made in a thicket near Laikipia University in Losogwa village, Igamwiti ward, and Nyahururu sub-county commissioner Ann Mitema says that the police acted swiftly, apprehending 60 bags, each weighing 100 kilograms, filled with cannabis. And according to Mitema, the security team is actively pursuing leads to locate the owner of the container.
60.5 bags of 100 kg each of cannabis sativa, commonly known as bangi. It's a mix of seeds and brooms of street value 30 million. I want to congratulate the members of the public who gave us a tip that we have managed to come and get this. This stuff is a bad stuff that really is destroying the members of the public, especially the youths. You can see this area. This is in Iwamiti location, Kagumo A village, which is just near to the University of Laikipia. So you can see the staff maybe is targeting university students as they have opened.
Nishtua sana, lakini ninasema asanti kwa maofisa wetu wa polisi na wazidi kung'ang'ana kabisa na kutilia morali ili waweze kutumalizia hii bangi katika area hii. Kwa ajili hata imeharibu watoto wengi. Mzazi anajikakamua kupeleka mtoto katika shule ili hali mwingine ni kuharibu tu, anatuharibia watoto. Kuleta hii bangi katika area hii. Sasa hii ni kuoneshana kuna wavutaji bangi katika area hii yenye bado hatujajua. Kwa ajili ukiona ikiletwa mahali hapa ni kusema pia wauzaji wako katika area hii. Lakini tunaomba pia waofisa wa polisi wazidi kujikakamua ili wawinde pia wenye walikuwa wameleta hii bangi katika area hii.
And the Mombasa County government has received a report of road safety from the year 2019-2020, where 256 fatalities and 607 injuries were reported by the Bloomberg Philanthropies. And the report will guide the county government in coming up with strategies and regulations to save lives. Mombasa is among 30 cities selected to participate in the road safety initiative. The county government now says they're going to put up strict measures and observe modern designs during the construction of roads to reduce the number of road accidents, as well as arrest drivers and other road users who break traffic rules.
This initiative focuses on a lot of different things. It promotes a safe systems approach to road safety, targeting safer road users, safer vehicles, safer infrastructure. It has a policy and legislative component as well, so that we're taking a holistic approach to addressing this issue of road safety, because focusing on any one thing alone will really not help us move the needle forward. We really need to focus on changing the system so that we create a culture of safety and people do value safety in our communities and in our countries.
Ripoti kama hii inatupatia data muhimu na hata zile pendekezo ambazo tuko na hakika tukiweza kuzitekeleza tutaweza pakubwa kupunguza athari za ajali. Na hizi steps kama hizi zingine ziko katika utunzi wa sheria, zingine ziko katika construction ama vile barabara zinakuwa designed.
We appeal to all our motorists, especially in Mombasa County, that to use this data to enable us change our behavior, especially on areas related to speeding, wearing of seatbelts, wearing of helmets, so that we can be able to reduce. It is of great concern that, yes, we have stagnated at below 70 or 80 fatalities per year. However, I would like to see Mombasa significantly reducing that much further with all the efforts that we have put in.
And we now get sporty, and Gor Mahia, the reigning champions of the FKF Premier League, are set to clash with their arch rivals, that is Tusker FC, at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County this Saturday afternoon. Currently leading the standings with 40 points, Gor Mahia will face Tusker FC, who currently hold the third position with 31 points. In recent weeks, Tusker FC has displayed impressive form, securing victories in all 5 of their last matches, including a dominant 5-0 win against KCB earlier this month. Meanwhile, Gor Mahia is also in excellent shape, having emerged victorious in 4 out of their last 5 matches. In another significant match on a Sunday, Shabana will host Ulinzi Stars at Raila Odinga Homa Bay Stadium, and Bandari will welcome Kariobangi Sharks at Baraki Sports Club. Additionally, KCB will be in action against Muhoroni Youth at Thika Municipal Stadium. And Nzoia Sugar Football Club fans have called for a complete overhaul of the technical bench holding the coaching staff responsible, that is, for the team's poor performance in the Football Kenya Federation Premier League. Despite losing some key players, that is, of course, Nzoia Sugar FC began the season on a positive note before experiencing a decline in form. The team has suffered defeats in 11 matches and currently holds only 13 points, placing them in a precarious position in the relegation zone. Nzoia Sugar FC faces challenging fixtures against Police FC, Posta Rangers and Bidco United in the upcoming matches.
Asante kama na Kennedy Makere Lusaka kama gavana yetu mpendwa mchapakazi na Moses Masika Wetangula. Tunaomba hata kama mnaweza kufanya kila mwezi mnasaidia timu ya Nzoia kama 1100 itakuwa ni vizuri sana.
Ya mashabiki kwa pamoja tumeamua technical bench yetu ilikuwa inalala. Ni kwa sababu tunasema inalala hata huko majuu store watu 5 safari moja mpaka ukose substitute ya goalkeeper. Mpaka wanapea goalkeeper red card, tunashindwa. Sasa mchezaji anaenda kwa uwanja kwa goal kushika ana idea, wanatufunga.
Performance ndio imetushangaza sana. Performance imekuwa poa sana. Shida tukiangalia shida ni kwa technical bench. Technical bench imetuletea shida mpaka performance yetu imerudi chini. Na upande wa finance tunajua ya kwamba tena kuna ukora. Kwa hiyo team kuna ukora ambao uko.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haiishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Saeed, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for.
That is our job. This is my job.